What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing well. I am recording this at the same time that I recorded last week's video, so if you remember, there might be some interruptions in the background, but this intro segment will be brief, and then we're gonna get into the interview. Yes, because today we are treated again with a special interview featuring Andrew Riesen, CEO and co-founder of Herd Bookkeeping and Tax. And today he's gonna talk about a question that y'all asked quite a bit about, and that's how to go about finding a CPA or an accountant or a bookkeeper, or even like what kind of person I should be looking for my practice. He's going to answer all the questions related to that and bookkeeping for your practice. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned and let's hop straight into the interview with Andrew. Quick disclaimer that I forgot to mention while we were filming is that the opinions and information shared in this video are not to be used in place of the advice of a professional. Obviously, if you are in need of that, then you should hire one. Andrew and I are not actively licensed CPAs, but the Herd team has many amazing actively licensed CPAs on their team. Okay, thank you. Bye. Back to the interview. Okay, Andrew, this is so helpful. We still have more questions because there's so many things about accounting and taxes. So I'd love to just kind of keep going through as many questions as we can. And the next category of questions was just all about bookkeepers and accountants, which we're just talking about how valuable that is. So one question that came up in this category is, what are the main things I need to know or ask a CPA when starting a private practice? Yeah, because it's like I found one, but now what?
Yeah, that's a really great question. What are some of the things that I need to know when I'm going to speak to a CPA or an accountant? I think broadly, the best way to start by responding to this question is just helping folks understand, like, there is a lot of different types of licensures within the practice of being a mental health professional, whether it's a clinical psychologist or a marriage and family therapist or a clinical social worker. In the world of accounting, there are lots of different types of people as well. And so a bookkeeper, there's a bookkeeper, there are financial accountants, there are tax accountants, there are tax CPAs, and then there are also lawyers as well. And so I think one of the overwhelming things that we've seen when folks are trying to solve a specific problem is they assume, hey, if I go talk to my local CPA, he's going to be able to, or they are going to be able to help me with this specific problem. And maybe in this specific instance, it's talking through workers' compensation for payroll as it relates to my practice. And so one of the things that I'm hopefully able to do here is kind of talk through each of these individually. And so a bookkeeper, this is somebody that's going to probably use software like QuickBooks or maybe software like Herds. They're going to categorize your transactions each month. And what that means is they will take all of the information associated with your business bank accounts and categorize that into appropriate business deductions or business write-offs that you'll be able to take advantage of at year end. They'll reconcile that, which means they will match the information that is in the accounting software back to your bank statements to make sure that everything is complete and accurate in the way it should be. And then they'll provide you reports on a monthly basis. And they may be able to help you think through things like expense categorization. They may be able to help you think through things like, how can I reduce the overhead in my practice? What are some different things that I can look at? A financial accountant, this is somebody a lot like the work that I was doing at PwC specifically. You are not only gathering that financial information and looking at that financial information, but you're using that financial information to make decisions. And so you are able to set budgets, you're able to set forecasts, you are able to set plans for the year ahead. And so getting a sense of if your bookkeeper is able to help you think through things like budgeting and forecasting and planning is oftentimes a good question to ask, or if you might need to separately go to a CPA who is more skilled at being able to walk through that type of things or walk through that type of information and has in fact been trained in doing that sort of work. A CPA, of course, this is a type of licensure or credential that you have. A CPA, they can be two totally different things. They can be a financial CPA and they can be a tax CPA. And those two different people are two very different people with two very different skill sets and what they're able to support on. So if you're going to look for a new bookkeeper or a CPA, I would recommend asking them, What are the types of services that you normally provide? Do you provide budget services? Do you help me forecast? Are you just doing the categorizations and the reconciliations? Can you also help with my individual income tax returns? Are you going to be able to support me with something like payroll if I become an S corporation? And so getting a sense of all of the individual activities that might fall into your job description as a small business owner if you were to own each of those different things, and taking those activities to them and saying, hey, which one of these can I really realistically offload to you and will you support with? And which are the things that I personally still need to maintain? And so a lot of words, but hopefully that is helpful context setting there.
That is so helpful and clarifying that it's not just, I need help with my finances. I found a CPA, the first person who popped up in a Google search, and they're going to just do all the things finance for me. You might have different people for different tasks, or if you want somebody to do a lot of the tasks, you need to be specific and asking what sorts of things they're available to do or what you need them to do and see if they can do it. That's very helpful information. I wondered if you could say a little bit about Herd and what you do and what you offer for therapists.
Herd is an all-in-one accounting solution that combines software and real people to handle things like entity formation, payroll, bookkeeping, accounting, and income tax services. And so we support specifically mental health professionals, so independent clinicians with their practices, get a handle on their finances, help them get organized, and really help stay abreast of the changing tax laws that are constantly in flux to help make them more successful business owners and focus on the thing that matters most, which is serving the clients. So
basically, I hear that as all the stuff that we just talked about, which can sometimes be scary and overwhelming. Herd covers the bases on all of those. So if anyone's wanting help and support from a professional, Herd can cover basically all of the different kinds of categories that we've just talked about. And I've linked to Herd's website below as well if anyone wants to learn more. Well, thank you again, Andrew, for yet another super helpful interview. If you didn't catch it before, this interview is actually one in a series of interviews with Andrew. We just had one really long interview, honestly, that was so full of goodies that I just couldn't edit it down into one short video. So I've chopped it up into several topic-specific videos like the one you just watched. If you want to watch the other videos in this series, I've linked to the playlist below. You also can watch the entire, largely unedited full interview linked down below as well. And if you'd like to learn more about Herd, of course, I have linked to their services below, because if you don't know where to start, Herd is a good place to start when it comes to your finances and private practice. And before we close, I'd like to thank TherapyNotes.com for sponsoring this video. TherapyNotes helps with all of your practice management related needs, such as scheduling, notes, and billing. They have that HIPAA-secure telehealth platform built right in, included for free for all users. So if you'd like to check out TherapyNotes, you can get 2 months to try it for free with no commitment just by clicking the link in the description of this video. Well, thanks again, Andrew, for offering your time and your wisdom. We still have a couple more interviews coming out from this series, so stay tuned for those in the coming months. And until next time, from one therapist to another, I wish you well.